Welcome to another installment of the Want List. This week it is indeed another unboxing, and oh man, I have been waiting a long time to unbox this one. A few years ago, I started watching these stop-motion animation videos done with 1/6 scale figures, and I started to get some of these to add to my own collection, and today I've got one that I'm super excited about showing off. This is from Hot Toys. It is the Black Widow figure that you can get from Sideshow Collectibles. We're going to open this up and see if it's truly as awesome as it looks like online. The box looks great. The artwork looks great. This is a solid design from a box standpoint. And unlike the others where you open it from the top, this one we open it from the side. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever gotten a 1/6 scale action figure from Hot Toys, and this is one where I was looking at the packaging. It actually says make sure you read the instructions, because we certainly don't want to ruin this one. Obviously we have a stand that we can raise up and down slightly to display our figure. I don't know how we want to display her. I think she goes on maybe like this, and this comes up from below. I don't know. Kind of holds her in place. We'll take the plastic off the face and the hands. This comes with an instruction book. I've never seen an action figure come with an instruction book before, but because there are so many pieces that come with this figure, I think it's worth checking out the instruction book, if only for just a few seconds, just so you can see where everything goes, what everything does. It talks about changing out hands. It talks about putting these guns, here they are right here, little tiny guns, putting them in her hand or putting them in the holster. Very articulate. The design, the face is just, really captures the face of Johansson, Scarlett Johansson. It's kind of creepy, to be honest with you, just a little bit creepy. But everything moves, so we've got shoulders that move, the arms that will move, maybe a little tight in the costume design, but the knees will bend. Yeah, the costumes, I think, is maybe just a little bit tight. So maybe that will be a little ding on here, in that it's probably not as posable as I would like it to be. As discussed in the manual, there are some additional hands that we can put on to make the Black Widow hold the guns. And there are two, it looks like two for every hand. One is this is a little weird. One looks a little darker shaded than the other, which is odd. But we've got left and right hands. We've got little joints to put the new hands in. We also have some cuffs. I don't know if you can see this. There are some little cuffs that we can use that change the color, and these cuffs are just slightly different than the ones that are on there. It does say on here, as we're pulling this on, change the Black Widow's bite bracelets with the corresponding fists as shown. I'm going to try to change out one of these hands. I always get nervous pulling these off, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. Let's see here. That's probably why they give you multiple hands and multiple joints. That did come off with a little bit of force, in case you break. This is really just held by just a little ball and socket joint, and I know that if you pull too hard on these, or you don't do it just right, you run the risk of breaking the hand and the joint. And again, that's probably one of the reasons why they have given you a number of different hands to use. Here we go. That one's in. The face on this is just incredible. And, you know, it's got real hair. It's not like plastic hair, which is what I was concerned about. But you can get one of these and put the hand in there, and you've got the trigger ready to shoot. That's really cool, actually. I like that a lot. So I'm going to put that back and get this other bracelet out. And another, she's got a pair of fists. I'm going to get out this hand. Probably should keep these all in an order so we don't forget where everything goes. We'll pop off this hand. Oh, there we go. Again, very nervous about doing that. Put on the new dart, and I'll put on the other hand. Let's see. It's somewhat nerve-wracking. There we go. That actually took a little bit longer than I thought, and if you're doing a lot of posing with this and swapping the hands out quite a bit, I can see that becoming maybe a bit of a problem later down the road. There's also a little communicator that comes in here, a cell phone that, wow, the cell phone actually opens up and closes. So you could have her holding that in the shot. That's kind of cool. I'll keep that in there. We've changed out the bracelets. That's really about it with this figure, beyond the adjustable hands, and then going in and changing up the poses, which, you know, you could do that. And I think maybe once the fabric loosens up a bit, you could do some cool things with this figure. But I think it's just it just feels a little bit too tight to really do anything more than to have this figure stand here. Now, the cool thing that maybe we could get a pose here is she needs somebody to protect, obviously. And I just so happened the very first 1/6 scale figure that I ever got was this 1/6 scale figure of Steve Jobs that I really love a lot. So this is kind of neat. This figure, I think, honestly, again, because of the clothing, I think that this figure isn't as posable as it is because the clothing is so tight. When I compare it to this figure with Steve Jobs and his looser fabric clothing with the shirt and the pants, it stands up much better, or it has a lot more posability than the Black Widow figure. Now, I mentioned a little bit ago about the posts and the hands and kind of nerve-wracking taking things on and off. When I first got this figure, I wanted to change out one of Mr. Jobs' hands with something else, and the post just snapped off, and I was disappointed because it really ruined the ability to use this figure. Fortunately, I was able to get some replacement parts from the company. This figure is not put out by Sideshow Collectibles or Hot Toys, so it's really a different figure altogether. But it is in that 1/6 scale, and you know, when we have them standing next to each other, I don't have a stand for this one. They do kind of fit within that scale of one another. So I think I'll probably be getting some more 1/6 scale figures in the future and just kind of build up a little menagerie of something of these figures and see where we can go with them. If you want to get the Black Widow 1/6 scale figure from Sideshow Collectibles, it's still available. And it's not very expensive. We've looked at some very expensive statues in the past. The 1/6 scale Black Widow figure is only $189. I know, seems like a lot, but with the detail and magnificent detail in this figure, from the boot stylings to the emblems on the elbows to the posable hands to the incredible likeness of Scarlett Johansson, This is worth every penny. It's not $400, it's not $600, but $200 for a 1/6 scale figure seems to be about the ballpark that I see a lot of these being priced at. I think that wraps it up for this installment of the Want List. Hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing. If you would, subscribe to our channel below and use the comments section to let us know what you want to see us unbox next. Maybe it'll be some more 6 scale figures, maybe it'll be some more Lego builds. Use the comment section and let us know what you think. If you have a question, you can send it to podcast@majorspoilers.com. You can follow me on Twitter @majorspoilers. And of course, visit our website, majorspoilers.com, for all sorts of pop culture-y goodness from comic book reviews and interviews and things that you can use each and every day. And we will see you next time on The Want List.